If you open Ocarina of Time randomizer and go to the detailed logic, you can add tricks to the logic. Anything in logic might be required to progress, and anything not added will not be necessary. And if you filter for Spirit Temple, these are what pop up.
But how do we do these tricks? Well, I'm glad I asked.
Let's first make sure we understand some movement quirks in Ocarina of Time. Dry rolling is when you hold target and press A with the neutral joystick. A dry roll will be different if you backflip or side hop beforehand. Continuing to hold down target will snap Link back to the original angle, but letting go of target during a dry roll is often useful for getting into position facing a precise desired direction. With the groundwork laid out, let's get into some tricks. There's an area only accessible as child, without glitches. In it, you need to hit this crystal switch to lower a bridge. If you stand at the wall opposite, face the switch, and quickly place a Bombchu without shield dropping, it should blow up next to the switch. In the metal fence child room, you can collect a Skulltula without Boomerang from the back side. You can take it out with Bombchus, slingshot, sticks, bombs, or even Kokiri sword. Sometimes climbing up on its own will collect it, but if not, you can fall and grab the fence at the same height. If you hold down while pressing A to let go, then hold up, you'll re-grab a climbable surface faster than if you just pressed A. So position yourself a bit above the token, hold down, press A, then switch to up, and you should grab the token as you re-grab the fence. If you really need to get this gold Skulltula, but don't have access to Spirit Temple as adult, you can use Boomerang, but will need a good position and angle, and the Boomerang will hit it while returning to Link. Note this high point of geometry. Nudge yourself onto it so you appear as high as possible. Pull out a Boomerang. Notice the animation cycle. I'll be basing my position based on this part of the cycle. Line this point of Link's hat with this seam. Now, line this point of his hat with the edge of the upper platform and release. The Boomerang likes going right, so we'll need to nudge it left a little bit to make sure it goes in the direction we want. And unfortunately, we will need to do it all over again. Get on the geometry, line up this point, line up that point, release, and nudge. The token is easier to grab, so I go here. Aim to the left of the token and throw just above the edge. Using a stick to light torches is rather fun, and it seems impossible to take a stick from the main room into the sunblock room without the stick burning up before you can light a torch. It is just barely possible with some fast and clever movement. With the stick in the flame, aim towards the right of the door. Quickly approach the door, rolling 3 times on your way. Ideally, you'll be up against the door after the 3rd roll, but an extra step is okay. While going up the stairs, you'll want to end up at the left side of the door so you're close to the nearest torch. Go through and rush to the torch. When this torch is lit, the timer that determines when the stick should burn away will reset, and you can relax and light the rest of the torches. Master Quest moves the switch that holds this door open to this goddess statue hand. And if you don't have Song of Time, you can't get onto it with the crate to hold it down. That won't stop us. Grab the crate, bring it up, and place it here. Walk off the edge here to grab and come back up. You'll know your position is good if the rail pushed you to the right before grabbing the ledge. Side hop right, and look at the switch. Unfortunately, we do have to eyeball this. Get this seam of the switch centered with the screen. Exit first person, grab the box and hold target. Throw the box forward, being careful not to fall off. After throwing, backwalk. When the crate exits your view, backflip so Link can get a small bit of extra distance as the crate hits the switch. The door will open, but since the crate breaks, it closes up again. So hold towards the door and mash A to open it before it has the chance to do that. You are now free to proceed to the sunblock room. In here, there's a Skulltula that we can easily get with Boomerang. You're supposed to activate a sunblock with some God Rays to spawn this block to stand on as an adult. But since we have Boomerang, it doesn't matter in the slightest. Target this wall snug in the corner to the right. Backflip twice, bring out your Boomerang, and aim up. This point of Link's hat going up and down should be lined up with this edge. Toss your Boomerang and hop left. I like to hop right after the Boomerang hits the Skulltula, but you can just side hop right after catching or start from the beginning again. The same setup works for grabbing the token. Spirit Temple under normal logic won't expect you to be in it if you don't have Lens of Truth. Turning on this trick removes that expectation. You only need to remember 3 invisible things. This floor master in the room with the first mirror, and these 2 treasure chests on the way to the adult side iron knuckle. You can ignore the floor master, it's not necessary to beat it, and the chests can be opened without lens. The adult lower crystal switch can be hit with bombs. It's tricky because it involves timing and position, so let's make sure we can at least get our position consistent. Well, at least where we start. Target this wall, side hop to the left along the slant, and roll until you're rolling without moving. Hop left, untarget and retarget, or flick your shield. Roll 3 times, hop right twice, then left, then dry roll, and turn around. We can now see we have the crystal switch pretty centered. Pull out a bomb while the metallic menace is to the right. Start walking while the bomb is blue after its 3rd red flash. Throw the bomb at the end of its 6th red flash. Luckily, if you're low on bombs, the Armos statue in the entryway are good for farming bombs, and you can go outside and come right back in to reset the Armos at a chance for more bombs. These upper ledges are nice, but they do require hover boots to get to. The left one has the optional scarecrow too. Would you believe we can get up with nothing? Get on the hand closest to the ledge you need to get onto, and use first person to look as straight towards the wall as possible. Move while targeting to line up with this weird corner in the hand's geometry. You're just a rolling jump away from smashing a rusted switch or writing a gold Skulltula's obituary, depending on the ledge you jumped up to. If dungeon boss shortcuts are on, the main room's final platform is lowered for you. Hookshot and Longshot is like a shortcut for the shortcut. Using Longshot is easy, so the real trick here is using Hookshot. Get in this corner, hop left, and aim up at the chain as high and to the left as possible. Hook on, and done. If you're on child side and don't have Hookshot to get back over to adult side, hover boots can be used instead. Take this Armos and push it up the stairs and make sure it's snug up against the rails. Keep in mind you can't pull it up the stairs, just push. Face away, start back walking, and backflip onto the Armos. If you were touching the Armos before the backflip, you may need an immediate second backflip to get on. Backwalking off the Armos lets you get to the other side. You can add a backflip at the end of the hover for a bit of safety, but backwalking should be plenty. Lighting these torches is tricky without access to fire arrows or Din's fire, but it can be done. Remember this Armos statue from the last trick? We're going to take it to even higher heights. When we're all the way up, place it next to this torch. Now you just need to find an angle where you can shoot an arrow through the fire into a torch down below to light it. After that, you can jump down and use an arrow going through the lit torch to light the other torch. This is easier than finding a position up top where you can light both. In the sunblock room, collecting silver rupees lights this torch in the middle. If you're a child, it's easy enough to use sticks to carry the fire. You could equip swap sticks and pray the game doesn't crash, but we want glitchless strats, and more importantly, flashy strats to show off. After collecting the rupees, stand on this wall putting Link between the lit and unlit torch. Hold target and bow buttons and backflip. If you release the bow button at the right time, the torch on the other side will light up. Now it's just 2 straight shots to hit the other torches. It's a bit hard to see, so this will take some practice. Remember to stock up on arrows, or just use an infinite arrow cheat. This shifting wall is intimidating enough, even if you have the tools to make it easier. The typical strategies involve long-shotting all the way up, or taking out the BMOs and or Waltola and hook-shotting part of the way up. A real hero, however, does it with absolutely nothing. With the right timing, you can walk around the left BMOs as the lowest shifting part of the wall is coming from the left and more or less blissfully climb up till you're next to the Waltola. Now it's all about waiting until the third shifting part of the wall is coming back towards the right. While you're waiting, you should make sure to position yourself higher and a bit more towards the middle of the wall, as long as you don't make the Waltola too angry. If you time it right, you just hold up and let Link do the rest, praying that the Waltola doesn't follow you. Master Quest has its own without lens trick. Don't worry, there's only a few things we need to know about. There's this invisible Skulltula in lower adult, this Floor Master on the way to adult side Iron Knuckle, and these two treasure chests. In the main room, you can melt the ice switch without fire arrows or dins if you move the Song of Time block on the child side, stand at this edge, and take careful aim through the lit torch. Pretty simple. If you do have Din's Fire, you can light these 3 torches used to open the door to the rest of the lower adult side. You can see they're quite spaced out. You might just think you go from one to the other, but it's too slow. One torch's flame will die as soon as you're trying to light the third one. So we need to get into position to light 2 at the same time. But first, do take care of the Wall Master. Better safe than sorry. Target this side of this pillar. Backwalk, 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 and soon you'll find yourself nuzzled into this corner. Side hop left twice, then backflip. Dry roll once for a sideways roll. Then dry roll forward 13 times. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Backflip once more. Untarget and retarget, or blick your shield. Then dry roll twice more, and use Din's Fire. This Din's Fire will get 2 torches lit. Afterwards, side hop right 9 times and use Din's Fire again. If you were quick enough, the last torch gets lit before the others can go out. Back in the entryway, Master Quest has a myriad of silver rupees to collect, one of them being in this water jet. Collecting these rupees causes this chest to appear. But if silver rupees are shuffled, it's possible for this chest to be here with something else to be collected in place of the silver rupee in the jet. Of course, if you have hammer, you can use the rusted switch under the rock to lower the jets and collect it. But if you don't have hammer, you can long shot the chest mentioned earlier to pull yourself into the item. Disclaimer, I did force the chest to appear without collecting the silver rupees for the sake of this demonstration. And that's every trick for Spirit Temple. Which means I've done all the main temples now. You can check the playlist in the description to see them all. Oh, you want mini dungeons too? Don't worry, Bottom of the Well is next. If that video is live, there will be a link on screen and in the description.